Hello everyone, my name is Exochromatic and today we're doing something a little bit different. Today we are doing a show of some different furniture ideas, and these are mostly my designs, things that I've kind of figured out myself, but those that are not, I will credit. Alrighty, so let's get right into this. So starting off with the beds, we have a very simple bed. I use this in most of my houses, especially my suburban style ones. Sometimes with or without the buttons, either way, it's a matter of preference. I personally like it without it, but the buttons can make it look pretty good if you do it right. So this next one is one where the beds are sunken into the floor a little bit, and I really like this design because it can be really cozy feeling, especially if the floor is already kind of down a level. I can just imagine a staircase going down into here, and oh, that would be so cozy, like a little basement room. Now this is a little bit of a tropical looking four-poster bed, and I really like this one. It's pretty simple. It's what do I mean pretty simple? It's pretty complex, but it's just stairs, slabs, and fences. The next one on our list is another little bed. Everything in this row is beds. This one is a pretty cool one because you can just walk right through here. It's easily accessible, no worries about that. But it almost has like a little pergola above it, and I like that. That is really good for a more tropical sort of place. Like maybe you made a little bungalow or a tiki hut. That would work really well in it. Or a beach hut, beach house. So this is a more fancy bed that I would use in maybe a mock Tudor style build. This is a replica of a king size bed. So like everything I do here is queens, kings, and then a twin would be just one of the beds. See, I used anvils for the posts, and I think that gives it a very, I don't know, formal look to it. And so of course I had a wither rose to make it look extra dark. Now this one is basically a bed with drawers underneath it. I forget the term for that kind of bed. I know there's a special term for it. But this style, especially with the sandstone here, this would look really good in a desert house, especially with some orange and yellow. And finally, this should have been the first one now that I think about it. This is a very simple one. All I did was take trapdoors and stack them on top of each other, and boom, here we go. A nice headboard and footboard. Footboard? Is that a thing? Is that a word? Someone help me, I don't know. I don't know my own native language. So now, moving on to chairs and couches. So here we go. This is a fun little trick of mine. I have two different size pillows because I have dirt underneath, and this is just to show that, in my case at least, every time I do this, no matter what color banner I put down, it turns black. So that's just to let you know about that. It is really, really cozy looking, and I think I could honestly just sit here all day. It's very cozy. Let's get the dirt out of my inventory. I don't want that. On to the next one. Here's a little chair. It's kind of like a cozy armchair, and I kind of like it. It's not like super big and clunky. It can fit well into a nice tighter spot. This is like a high back dining chair, and this could also work as a high back dining chair, but this is more of a living room chair because it has higher armrests. And this kind of chair would be very good in a salon setting. You can change out the trapdoors. I just really like spruce trapdoors because of the effect of it being planks of wood. And then here's another kind of stool. This one would work really well in a bar setting. And the good thing about these two is that they both give off light. So that's one less light source you have to worry about. And now here we have a very simple lounge chair. This would work really well in a pool setting. Again, you can choose whatever color wood you like. I just like using spruce because it looks nice against this green, and there's just enough contrast that you can tell what I'm looking at. And this is a nicer looking couch. I like it. It's not too complicated. It's just, it kind of looks more complicated than it is. It's just this, Then you take a slab. Oops. Well, you can make it any size. Then you take stripped logs. Stairs again. Boom. There you go. Simple and cozy. I can sit here forever. And now we're moving on to the tables. So there are a few tables, and some of them you can put items on. I tried to do a bunch of those because I know that sometimes just having an empty table can look a little funky. But here we have a table that also doubles as a light source, so this can work really well. This is more of a dining table sort of look. If you were to put a chair here, then that would be really, really nice. Sometimes when I have chairs, I like to have some tucked in, some out, because I think it makes it look more lived in than static. Now this is a lamp design on top of a table, and this lamp is really nice because it actually gives off light, and this looks like a lampshade. But basically what I did is this trap door is not on top of these, it's on the upper half of a block. So like if I were to do this and take the trap door and do that, boom, that's how you get that. And then you put the others on the other sides. If you wanted a little table here, this is very compact. All it is 4 trapdoors. And again, you do that so that you can put things on top of it. This is another formal chair, or formal table, not chair. But this would work really well, again, in a mock tutor setting. And it's very, very cozy. Oh boy. A furnace just started behind me. I'll have to see in editing if you can actually hear it. And then this is, I don't even think this should count as a design, but I use this in so many of my builds. This is how I do coffee tables and kitchen islands a lot of the time, because it's so simple. It's very clean looking, and this kind of quartz brick pattern is really, really nice. Let's just chuck my inventory out. Because now we're going on to some of the final bits, which is just kitchen things and a couple lamps. So this is a little oven range sort of thing with a backsplash using the Crimson Hyphae. So I used target blocks in the back to act as little burners, and again, activator rails are very, very useful for doing stuff like this. I'm pretty sure that's pretty common knowledge at this point. But to get these 2 little gauges here, you just dig underneath. These are lodestone compasses, so they're pointing at that lodestone. And I really like doing that trick. That is actually inspired by the Ultra's Kingdoms, who did something like that in his build in Tangawada. And if you don't know what Tangawada is, please do watch my Warcraft SMP series. It would be very greatly appreciated. And here we have a kitchen setting. I tried to mock up a little kitchen. It's not fully lit up, but it's just to show off a combination of things. Now, my original design included the item frames on top of the shulker boxes, but that is merely for decoration. If you want shulker boxes in your kitchen for actual storage, do not put item frames on top of it because it will pop off every time you open it. I learned that recently when I tried to do that on one of my builds. But here we have a very simple sink using a tripwire hook and a cauldron. And cauldrons are very nice because you can hide glowstone underneath it like so. And that can light up the area a little bit. And then a fridge using just iron blocks and an iron trapdoor placed like that. And there we have it. It's pretty nice. And I like using the diorite for a backsplash. I normally don't really like diorite that much, but it looks good for that. And now onto some lamps. So a couple of them actually give off light, one of them does not. So this is a simple lamp design, similar to that one right there, but it is more of a floor lamp. And this is the same, except this is inspired by the lamps at the Black Lodge in the show Twin Peaks. And finally, we have this lamp here, which is directly taken from Grian. But I thought this was really cool, so I would show it in here. This is mostly a creative thing because you actually have to type in the command to get the dragon egg, because I was looking in here for the dragon egg, but nope, they took it out of the creative menu. So, unless you're lucky enough to have the dragon egg, this is basically impossible to do in survival. But the bad thing about this is that it doesn't give off any actual light. So if you are going to do this, it is fully decorative. It's not to give off light at all. And that's all we have for today, everyone. And these have been a few little furniture designs. And if you do use these, please tag me on Twitter at it's Exochromatic. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye! That was weird. I normally do this in survival. I really need to expand my content.